We're looking this morning at Gaza City, the skyline there. We've watched that now for 11 days as the airstrikes have continued following the Hamas attacks on Israel. So many people from Gaza City have fled, so many buildings obliterated, razed, and they have tried to flee to safety. Our next guest has left Gaza City with her husband and 2 young children and is now in the south of Gaza. She's working as she cares for her family. She's a fixer, the first female fixer in Gaza. Now, what is a fixer? Somebody who is invaluable to the work that our foreign correspondents do, foreign correspondents around the world. Just as the name suggests, she fixes things, she translates, she arranges things. She worked closely with Arwa Damon, who was at CNN and whom you met last week on our program. In fact, it was Arwa who introduced her to us. And I am happy to introduce her to you this morning. Ameera Harouda, welcome to our program, and thank you for being my guest.
Thank you for having me this morning in your show. I hope that I can send the message of Gaza people here today.
I'm looking forward to hearing many of your stories because you're mother, but also journalist. And we want to get at both parts of it, Ameera. So number one, tell me with journalist eyes, because we can see the protection that you're wearing there, thankfully. Where are you? What is the scene of where you are and what is the situation around you this morning?
Okay, I'm wearing this protection because I have to continue my work in the field. I just come to do the interview with you, and I'm going to get back again to the field to continue my filming of what happened to civilians, people here in Gaza. Especially this morning, there is 3 sites that were hit by Israeli airstrike and killed more than 60 civilians in different sites. Most of them, they are children and women. They flee from their homes in Gaza City, going to the south. They're thinking that it's a safe shelter for them in the south. And unfortunately, they were hit by Israeli airstrike early this morning. So now I'm in the south in the United, in Norwa shelter, me with more than 20,000 family in this place, which is not, like established to be a shelter or a place for family to flee. It's like school rooms with some amount of bathroom here in different places. And this is actually a real problem for us as the people flee from their homes looking for a place to stay. I'm not staying in a building like this. I just come here because I want to get some internet connection so I can contact you and tell you exactly how is the situation. Okay. I'm staying with my 4 children and my husband in a tent outside of the building.
In a tent? You're in a tent with your husband and children outside the building. And what do you have available to you, Ameera, just in terms of living essentials? Like what do you have the basics that you need as you stay there in that tent with your family?
Of course, no. We are looking for the water to drink in different areas around us, which is very risky. The second thing, that the access to the bathroom is very, very difficult and very high. You have to wait for hours to get your turn to get to the bathroom because, as I said, it's like only a limited rooms for the bathroom here for people to use. Also, the food, we're having like problem with the food because you need to get it or to gather it from outside for your children. And the other thing that where to cook this food. So we try to use the things that they can eat it immediately, like biscuits or stuff like this, just to survive and to continue. But if we are talking about the health situation here is getting very difficult. Many children, they get fever. Many children, they get skin disease. I just arrived yesterday, and unfortunately, I'm talking about many families before me, like 7 days they were here. They did not get the chance to take a shower or to use the clean bathroom or to have enough medicine for them. As I said before, this is a shelter not, prepared to be a shelter for families and their member to stay inside it. So we are really struggling to get something healthy for our children to protect them from being sick or get any skin disease or diarrhea or stuff like this.
Hey, you have a son and a daughter. How are they so far? Just hold on for one moment, Ameera. We've just lost. Just hold on. I think we have you back. Oh, yes, I'm hearing you again, Ameera. I was mentioning that you have a son and a daughter. We have a good connection now.
Yes, I have three sons and 1 daughter, and actually they are coping very hard with the situation. My daughter, she keeps writing her notes every day about the situation, and they keep saying to me that, "Mommy, we are homeless now. We don't have a house to get back." During the night, they couldn't sleep. They are afraid that something will happen. Even in the shelter, we still the bombing is very close and we can hear it. So it's also affect them. One of my children, he gets nervous all the time, and it's hard for me to try to make him quiet, because also I'm going out, covering the situation outside in the south and get back again to the shelter. They are very, worried about me that maybe I will get injured or hurt.
Well, you
Um,
must be, Ameera, you must be torn, I would imagine. You want to tell the story as a journalist, but you probably want to protect your own children too and take them to safety. Is that kind of a challenge for you sometimes, the two?
It is actually, because, according to my experience, covering the war since, or invasion, or, like any other escalation with the Israeli side since 2004 until today, I never witnessed circumstances like this before. I get used to, to keep my children with my relative in my house and my area. According to the IDF, during the last couple of wars, it considered as a safe area. But unfortunately, during the couple of the days, we get hit, like continuously all the time, that there is target around us without any warning towards these houses. This is make, things more difficult for me. And I think it's like, my heart broken, because I want to be in the field, continue telling the stories of the people who suffer in Gaza. And at the same time, I want to protect my children. Um, my child, he keep asking, "Mommy, can you draw something for me? I love you all the time. Please don't stay, late outside. We want you to be with us." So it's not only me. The problem is that we are talking about hundreds of civilians, women and children, under these circumstances. They are suffering from shortage of water, food, protection for their children. Many of these families try to take shelter in the south, and unfortunately they were bombed by the Israeli airstrike. So there is no guarantee that even if you are flee to the south, that your life and your family life will be in a safe area or in a safe place.
And of course, there's nowhere to go with the border closed at Rafah, too. So there's no escape at this moment for people who are trying, in fact, to flee to safety. I'm wondering, it seems, it hasn't happened yet, but it seems that there is a ground attack, a ground incursion likely in response to the Hamas attacks. What do you expect that will be like?
It will be even more than earthquake. I think even more than what happened in Morocco and Turkey, it will be happens in the land here. If really a ground operation will happen in Gaza, we are talking about no word, actually, no words can tell exactly what will going to happen, because it's something no one can explain it.
So, coming into that, with a lot of people bracing for exactly what you described, that was very, we got the real image there. It'll be like an earthquake. You have U.S. President Joe Biden coming to Israel tomorrow, Ameera, and then going on, I don't know if you've heard this, but he's going to be meeting in Amman, Jordan, with the leaders of Jordan and Egypt and the Palestinian Authority. Does that give you any cause for optimism that there may be some sort of solution for this? They may be able to work out for the hostages, for humanitarian aid, to the end of the fighting, anything? Does that give you any optimism at all?
Listen, I'm talking as a journalist, knowing that the international law and the United Nations, according to the Geneva Convention, that they have to protect civilians, people under the war, wherever they are. All the world criticize the war around in Ukraine, or what happened in Ukraine. But why the world is still waiting for 10 days? We are talking about 3,000 children, women, including, they were killed, more than 10,000 they are injured, and no one talking about them clearly, that they did not talking about what happened to these civilians and the children. Why we give the justify to the Israeli to continue their killing towards the civilians? I hope that the international community, whether Joe Biden or any other international community like the European Union, or the other Europe country, they should move to stop the attack towards the civilians. If Israel wants to take the revenge, they should, face sit with someone who's in charge and talking about what's the next step to protect civilians under the war. The world criticized the war in Syria, in Yemen, and in other countries, but no one criticized what's going on towards the children in Gaza. I'm sure if things get quiet or any ceasefire, and if they will allow any international committee to get to Gaza, I'm sure that they will get shocked by the number of the destruction in the house and the amount of the people who killed in this last 11
Indeed.
days. The problem
we have heard many expressions of concern about the children, about the families, about civilians, and of course that is very much top of mind as any sort of ground incursion is prepared. And we'll certainly be listening for the U.S. president to talk about that tomorrow and in the next hours. And Ameera, I want to say thank you for your time this morning. We'll wish you and your family the very best, and thank you for sharing the story as you are living it and covering it. And hopefully we can speak again.
Thank you. You are welcome.
Okay, Ameera Harouda in Gaza this morning.